Hello everybody, it's been a while, it's been a showcase video. In fact, I think the last showcase video I did was my costume stuff a couple years ago. Huh. Anyways, but today I have something that's actually applicable to space and awesomeness, and just any form of collection stuff. Because I like to collect various things. But actually this isn't for a collection thing, this is for a project I'm working on, so let's just get right into it. It is a Soviet what was it, like GHS-6A? No, wait. GSH-6A. There we go. MiG helmet, complete with the neck ring and everything. Here, I'll kind of pull this out. Whatever, it's not important. But yeah, this is actually the result of quite a few, um, quite a few months of saving and researching to find this, because this has actually never been flown. It was in box, never been used kind of thing. Here, I thought you'd take the neck ring off. Because, oh my goodness. I've been meaning to get one for a while, because I'm working on a project. There we go. To make a high altitude pressure suit, like a full pressure suit, similar to what they used in Project Mercury and so on. And I can make most of it, but I didn't want to make the helmet because, well, obvious reasons. So I was looking at pressure helmets. Alright, let's move that to the side. We can come back to the neck ring later. Initially, I wanted to get an American pressure helmet, preferably like a Mark IV Air Force helmet. Unfortunately, the United States makes them very sparse. They made them custom made for various pilots, so they were very expensive and hard to find. So I figured that if I did find any, it'd be better if I went to a collector who would actually use it as a collector piece. Whereas these, the Soviets made a lot of, so they are actually very easy to find. In this good condition, not as easy. In fact, this even still has yeah. Here, actually, I also have the paperwork for it too. I'll put that back in there for some contrast. But yeah, it even still has the visor that slips up and down. It's really awesome. But yeah, these papers, I actually have two of them. They say the size, this was 2M, the lot number, and the year, 1985. And these both say 1985. Yeah, right there. As well as all the information. Some of this, that one was signed. This one has the stamps showing it. So yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with this. It even came with the box too, which is right there. Don't mind the squeaky fish. That's a long story about that. I've had that for a very, very long time, and I gave it to my cat because she would leave my goldfish alone. She absolutely loves it, so she carries it around. But anyways, so yeah, so it has the original box, the original helmet. It's in really good shape. Even the inside here, it has the information, all the padding. The gasketing is in amazing condition. It's actually one thing anyone out there who actually knows more about this than I do, which is probably a lot of people, I do not know what this hose does. It's adjacent to the main air inlet hose, and it's attached to the exhaust valve. However, I cannot figure out what this does at all. It's like I know that this is for the visor electronics, because the visor has little lines in it that electrically heat it to keep it from fogging up. So that's what this is for. And this is the main inlet hose and all that. But this, no idea what it does. It's like even the neck ring has this, which connects to the communications. But I've been trying to figure this out for the longest time. And this actually pops off. And it's like a little connector. It's a hollow hose from what I can see. I think there's a valve in here, but I've tried doing some tests with it, and air doesn't seem to come out of this or go into it. It's connected to the exhaust valve, but not a part of the main exhaust valve inside there. It's like I'm at a loss for what this hose does. So if anyone out there knows, please let me know, because I have no idea what this does, and I cannot figure it out. It's not all that important, because for my my suit that I'm working on, I'm going to plug the valve anyways, like permanently seal it closed, because I don't need that for a pressure suit. The exhaust valve can be elsewhere on the suit, and it's going to be pressure controlled. But yeah, so That's this. Actually, since I'm here, I actually have something else that's related. I suppose I can show. I don't know if I've talked about it before, but I got this a while ago. It's a much cheaper thing. It's just a GP9 gas mask, similar age as the helmet. And actually, you may have noticed the one side is darker than the other. That's because it sat on a shelf for about a year, and in sunlight, I didn't really notice that. So one side got a little um, sun. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The rubber still works fine. And the actual helmet, this mask itself works great. I've actually used this one time, and I accidentally made. I was making copper 2 sulfate, and I screwed up the equation, and I forgot that there was sodium involved in there, because I used it to extract hydrogen peroxide as a catalyst. And so when I mixed it together with the sulfuric acid, it produced hydrochloric acid gas, which is basically what's produced in your lungs when you breathe in chlorine. So it it could like melt your lungs. So I quickly grabbed the mask, put it on, and then vented everything, and was fine. But yes, that mask, I actually had to use it in a horrible situation. One thing, this helmet, it did not come with a communications hat. So I'm actually making one. This is what I have so far. I sewed this all together. It actually fits quite nicely, and I used old cups from um, speakers that I have, and it actually fits quite nicely. It doesn't have any electronics yet. I have a speaker here I'm going to use for it, and I'm waiting, or this is the mic. I'm waiting for the speaker to show up later. And I'm going to wire everything up, and it's going to be fantastic. So it actually fits quite well. This was all hand sewed. I probably could have done this with a sewing machine. It would have looked prettier, but whatever. I just decided to spend 3 hours and make it. So yeah, I actually can sew. But the helmet's the important part. Here's the neck ring. It has the rubber gasket here, all of the canvas that wraps around the neck, the communications thing, and even the straps here to prevent ballooning. And it's in really good condition. Like, this is amazing. Yeah, that's the locking mechanism for the helmet. So yeah, this was probably the greatest thing that I'd received in the mail in a very long time, because I've been meaning to get this for a very long time. There we go. Because this is a very important part of my pressure suit project that I'm working on. So yeah, this is my helmet. I am very pleased with it. It's in great shape. It hasn't actually been used. So it's been sitting in a box since the 80s with with this over top of it. It's the thing that goes over the helmet and keeps it safe. So I just figured I'd make a quick little video just talking about it, because it's really, really great, and I love also I want to talk about my various projects, but this is just in and itself, it's cool. Like, I love Soviet or old military, especially aerospace hardware, and this is just some of the finest. This is like one of the coolest one I have, is this helmet. Actually, funny story. I recently moved, as I mentioned in other videos, and this, when I ordered it, my address was correct for the most part, a little off, and this was actually delivered to a neighbor of mine across the street, something like that. So the post office screwed this up and delivered it to the wrong person, who actually brought it back and dropped the box off at my place. But my mic here, which I also ordered, was like $2. Cost nothing. This showed up properly, so the post office got the cheap item correct and the expensive one not correct. But I let them know about the mistake, and they won't do it ever again. They probably will, but whatever. I've never had an issue with Canada Post, so I'm not going to start complaining to them because they got one thing wrong. For me, anyways. Actually, looks like there's some staining on the top here, but I don't really care because it doesn't impact the helmet in any way except for cosmetic. I think I'm trying to think of what this is made of, because it's not like a fiberglass. It feels more like laminated plastic, or like actually it feels like kind of like laminate floorings, or like Lionel floorings, like those really, really crappy plastic floors they have in like low-income housing, whatever. It's kind of like, or actually just for cheap things, it's kind of like that, only multiple layers of it sandwiched together and laminated. That's what it feels like. So I'm not exactly sure what it's made of, but it's much different than the American fiberglass helmets that like BF Goodrich used to make. But either way, yes, this is my helmet. It is. It's amazing. I love the sun visor. And actually, it's kind of cool because actually here whatever. The holes you can see on the rubber on the inside here, that's actually where end along the inside in here too. I don't know if you can see that in here. Let's do this. Like these holes around here too, plus the ones in the visor. This is where the air comes in, like from this valve here, and so it blows right onto the visor and it keeps it cool and also prevents fogging. It's really cool. And here's the oxygen inlet, the valve here. Oh. Yeah, so there's the inlet. This would plug into the plane, which I'm gonna have to make an adapter for that. But yeah, so that's the helmet. Yeah, because I'm working on a high altitude pressure suit because I have a time frame of like 5 to 10 years. I want to start doing, well, I want to make the pressure suits because I want to make one, but I'm also working on a larger project that involves that, some high altitude exploration stuff, and I'll talk more about that later as it progresses, but for the time being, you can expect updates on the status of my pressure suit and how I'm going with that. Starting out with first the helmet, which I wanted to talk about because it's the important part. But yeah, 11 minutes. This video probably doesn't need to go for much longer. So, yeah, helmet. It's a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah.